Okay, so that broke. It doesn't matter. It's sticky, so we can stick it back on after. So what's happened here, the black sticky thing has stuck to the white thing. That doesn't always happen, so the black sticky thing just needs to come off from the white thing. So you just take your time. This doesn't, every pebble is put together slightly differently, it seems. Sometimes there's glue in places that there isn't on other pebbles. This is the first one where I've actually seen it stuck to the white sheet. So there we go. So this black thing is going to go back on later. That's what stops the backlight bleeding out into the case. So you need that, even though it looks like rubbish, you need it. Okay. So this plastic, I use plastic here, I don't want to use metal. It goes under the white screen, and you just want to flick it up. It's held in at the sides by little nubbins. So you just flick it and work it from side to side. There's one. You see one is out. There's the other one. Woohoo! Now this thing, sometimes it's glued along the top here, and it looks like it is. Oh no. Lightly glued. Yes, wasn't particularly glued. So it kind of sits on top there when you're going to put it back together, and it will slide back under. So we'll put that to one side. Okay. So there's the battery. And there's the terminals there and there. You can see two terminals. Unfortunately with some glue on top, which makes it hard to solder and ruins your soldering iron if you put the soldering iron on there without taking the glue off, which is a bit of a git. So this is the old battery that's dead. You can just turn it over, push it through, work it out. So there you see the battery is now just hanging from the terminals. Now some people here say you desolder it, but you can't desolder it unless the glue's off. Personally, I just cut it with some scissors. Bye. So now we need to, that'll go in the bin. Now we need to clean the terminals. There's solder already on there, so as long as you clean the terminals, you can just rewire the new battery pretty quickly, but you've got to clean the terminals, unfortunately. So this is just something sharp. Make sure it's all off, because if you ruin your soldering iron, you will no longer be able to solder with accuracy, and that will be the end until you get a new soldering iron, or you'll just wreck the pebble. You can see, I probably can't see there, it's a shit camera, but you can see that it's getting cleaner. Just carry on. I'm going to pause it while I do this. Okay, so new battery. Actually, I'm not going to use that one, it was from a failed attempt. New battery. So red is positive, black is negative, and the red positive is going to go onto the left-hand terminal. So it looks like the right from where you're looking at, because this is, I'm recording on selfie cam. That's actually the left-hand terminal, so if you'll do it that way, that might, yeah. So it's this one. It's the one closest to the sticker, the white sticker. And there's actually pluses and minuses on the orange, the old orange connector. If you take a picture and zoom in. Okay. Battery. Battery's going to have to go through, up and through, like so, and then it's going to fit in. It's a little bit of a squeeze, so I squeeze the end of the battery, push down the side so you can see which way it is, because it's not a perfect square. I believe it's slightly oblong, and it goes in this way. Or actually this way, same way, just with the wires poking through the other side. The case actually has a bit of flex in it, because the battery does sit in quite snug, so once it's soldered you will sort of push it in and it will stay there. Okay, so this is the fiddly bit, and it's fiddly because if there's any glue left on, it's just a bit of a shit if there's glue left on, because it ruins the soldering iron and then you just comes to a halt. You're not really going to be able to see what I'm doing here. I'm literally just soldering the two bits on. Okay, so blue tack. Careful not to put the blue tack on the vibration motor, because you pull it off. So put it on the corner that hasn't got the vibration motor on it. Just need something to stop it moving around. So then you're going to put the wires under and up and in. So they go under and then come up, so you can solder it on. I might pause this if it takes too long. This is the nightmare bit. A true nightmare. Okay, one is on. So now I'm going to get the black wire and pull it through. There we go, so you see the black wire coming out, ready to go onto the motherboard or whatever that is. When I don't know if this is going to be captured on the video, but when the second one touches, the power comes on and the light turns on for about 3 seconds, the backlight. I'm not sure. So that says the pebble is alive. Okay, so I actually just need to bend this a little bit. There's a length issue here, one wire is slightly longer than the other. Just going to bend it downwards a bit. That'll do. Moment of truth is coming. Ugh, shaking. Yes, there's the light. There was the backlight. Okay, so the backlight keeps coming on, but the solder is not holding at the moment. Okay, I'm going to pause it. I've turned it round. I'm going to solder with my right hand and move the wire with my left. going to try and use a little bit more solder. It's not holding. Okay, a bit more solder on there now. Okay, the backlight is on and off. Is it going to hold? We have the battery connected. Okay, now when you move the battery into position, it can come disconnected and you have to do it again. So there it is. The wires should go this side, so as you push the battery, oh, it's come off, there we go. As expected, the red one's on pretty solid, which is good. Happy with that. Okay, back on. So what we need to do now is get these wires flattened down. So there we go. So what you normally do, turn the battery round so the wires are going across it. Push the battery in. It will squeeze in very snug. There we go. Hallelujah. Hardest bit is done. So you can see that the wires come across the battery onto the terminals. It is in very snug. It will stretch the frame. The vibration thing keeps poking out, and that's fine. So got our unit now that's sort of working. Should be working. Now we need to put the screen back across. So if you remember, just reverse engineer. You can push the wires down and get it should go back through like so. And then once it's back through, just push it in. So it goes back through the ribbon and then back down and clips in. It will feel slightly fatter than it did in its original life because the battery does stretch a bit. So now don't forget this bit of plastic, sticky bit of plastic. It needs to go back on exactly how it did, because that's going to block the backlight. So that pretty much So it goes down in the end. You can use the thing that folds over the corner as a guide over the edge. So you can see that's not quite right. It's not covering, so I'm going to take it off. Try again. So you can actually see where it should go. It should just be in a perfect rectangle and cover there. So just take your time with this bit. The hard bit's done. This is just getting this sticky thing back in the right position. So basically you can take a picture of it before you take it apart, and that's what it should look like. So the black thing just goes sticky around the edge of the white thing so that the backlight doesn't bleed out everywhere, otherwise it looks awful. I did put one back together without putting the sticky thing back on, and the backlight was coming through the plastic case and it was annoying. Okay, so I think these are called zebra strips. Get your watch, you know, line up the zebra strip. You look inside the watch, you've got the there, can't really see it because there you go, got the zebra pattern there. So you line up the zebra pattern on the strips, and in there, that gap there is the thing that touches the other side of the zebra strip to connect to the screen in the case. And there is a pattern, you're never going to be able to see it on here, I don't think. There is a pattern of stripes that you need to match up. So that goes in like so. It's going to fall out, so you actually put the case upside down and drop the case onto the unit. Don't force it. If it doesn't go, just have another go. Just re-sticking the black sticky things. Okay, so I'm going to go. Drop the watch down. Oops, it's popped out. Back in it goes. Around the go. Boom. So I put in the zebra strip side first. Okay. One last thing. If you see here, there's a bit of tape over something. That's a plug, and sometimes that plug comes out, so you have to push it back in. Actually, best to do it with a plastic implement. So you just push. It's next to the motor. It's the thing that you need pushed in when you get the screen tearing problem. Sometimes it pops out. Okay, so a bit more troubleshooting. It's in, but it only works if I push this. I'm pushing the zebra strip end onto the screen, so there seems to be a connection issue. So my options are screw the back on and hope that pushes it down. Otherwise, keep taking it apart and putting it back together until it works. But the hard bit is done, the soldering is done. This is now just a connection to the case from the zebra strip issue, which is actually the easiest one to fix. So I'm going to put the case back on, see if that helps. If it doesn't, we'll keep playing with it until it works. Okay. Right, the case is on, it's not helping. Oh, maybe it is. See if the screws finish the job. If not, do them nice and tight, see if that works, does the trick. If not, then I reckon taking it apart slightly and seeing why it's not connecting. It's very close now, so if I push the back it comes on and then it goes off. Right, where's those other screws? I've never come across this problem before with the zebra strip not touching its connectors, so I maybe stretched the case a little bit too much. Oh, here we go. She's on. I think maybe I stretched the case when I pushed the battery in and that just took everything out of alignment for a second. So it looks like it's on, and even if this happens again, at least I know what it is and I can fix it pretty easily. Now I've got to try and work out how to upload a 35-minute video to Facebook. Joy. There we go. She is alive. New battery. Now I've got to sync it and update the software, because this will be version 0 software. And I believe you can only update that with the original Pebble app, not if you're attached to Rebel for some reason. So you might need to go and, if you get this far, you might need to sync this to a phone that has the old Pebble app on it just to get it the initial update working. Otherwise it doesn't update. Don't know why. Okay. Woohoo.